Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Yes, very good afternoon.
I hope you're doing good. Thank you for doing this for today.
I'm so happy. Thank you very much for having me today. And yes, we
Yeah, so
can.
we have KVJ Dr. Sumitra Prasad with us today, the founder and the general secretary of the Rai Foundation. And as an initiative of the Rai Foundation, which is the Health Fest, uh, we are aiming at spreading awareness about various physical conditions and their mental health perspectives. Ma'am, your video is not on. Yeah, perfect. All right. So KVJ Dr. Sumitra Prasad, she is the founder and the general secretary of the Rai Foundation, and she's a life skills counselor and she's very much experienced. She's been doing this for more than 20 years now, being a special mother and a social activist in various sectors of the society, wherein she has worked with transgenders, she has worked with sex workers, special children, counseling the parents of special children, and so many other things. So, welcome aboard, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sabrine. Nice to have a bunch of students and youngsters pursuing the stream of psychology, which is the most important stream in today's world, since we are looking at positivity and positive mental health all around. It's really essential that we look at all the attributes of psychology and all the attributes and perspectives of physical health or physical ailments that leads to psychological rebirths or psychological issues and a lot of depression that is also a result of what is happening with you physically, as much as it's vice versa. You're looking at psychosomatic disorders. Likewise, when there is a physical ailment, that also invariably has its connect with the psychological well-being of an individual.
That is absolutely true, ma'am. And this is what we have been working on. So, we have studied some cases having physical conditions, and we've studied the mental health perspectives of those physical conditions. So, today, the topic in hand that we have today is atopic dermatitis, wherein we are going to be looking at a perspective of beyond the skin and beyond the itch that atopic dermatitis comes with. So it is basically a moderate to severe inflammatory skin condition that manifests itself, in the form of rashes all over the body. So, ma'am, the first thing that I would like to ask you is like, what are some of the ways that atopic dermatitis can affect a person if we're not talking just about the skin, if we talk about the mental health, because there's a normal person behind the itch and beneath the skin. So how does atopic dermatitis affect a person mentally?
Uh, we live in a world which is, no matter how much we talk about the internal strength and the internal beauty, Sabrine, the most important thing that a person looks at immediately, you're looking at the person's complexion, you're looking at the skin, whether it's a girl or a boy, whatever. You're looking at this external picture of an individual. It's like we keep saying, don't judge the book by its cover. Yes, we say that. But we are all hypocrites in our hearts and in our attitude and in our perception, because we are still looking at what covers the mind, what covers the heart, what covers the person's actual personality. And what covers the body is obviously all the skin that you have outside you. And that skin is so important that we are looking at not just the skin, but the quality of that skin, the color of that skin, and if there is any blemish or if there is anything that mars that softness and consistency and the complexion of that skin, that becomes an issue of concern. and that's looked down upon. Now you look at a person with having rashes, or you look at somebody with blemishes, or you look at somebody with pimples, anything on the skin. You would be surprised to know that most youngsters, especially teens, during the time of puberty, when there are hormonal imbalances, Sabrine, the kind of emotional stress that a teenager faces is really remarkable. You need to take that into account, because they are so embarrassed, they don't know what to do, and they are always hiding, and they feel that everybody is going to look at their faces, not them, but their faces, and they're going to be judgmental about them, and they're going to wonder whether they're looking good or not. And especially in today's social media world, in today's Instagram and Reels world, Sabrine, it becomes all the more important for you to try and be balanced in case you have a skin disease or a skin disorder or some rash, not just on your face, but even your hands. Now, these are, Sabrine, I would like to go a step further. It is not just that which is visible. Okay, these rashes, or, every itch needs a scratch, as the word goes. So what happens when you have a particular, say, in a particular place, there is something that is happening, and you need, you very badly need to scratch. So what happens then? The person is there is rash on the hand, okay, or on the feet. We'll go one by one, because each thing has an impact on the behavioral pattern of the person. So if I have some here, some itch or rash or here, I am always going to be wearing 9 out of 10 times, though I need to keep it open. I am going to be so embarrassed if I'm sitting like this in the college, in the class, or at work. I am going to wear a long sleeve. So whether I like it or not, I'm going to wear it, because I don't want to cause an embarrassment to the others, and to myself. The other thing is, I don't want others to feel yuck about it. And feeling yuck about this disease, the person's perception towards me also changes. Third thing is, I don't want to create a situation wherein I am left out because of this rash, which may not be transferable, which is not contagious, but still I am looked down upon. People are being very cautious. People are going to be very apprehensive and even shaking hands with me because of the possibility of maybe it is contagious, maybe I'll catch it. So all these probabilities comes into the picture when something like this happens. Now look at a female who has eczema on the foot, left or right or whatever, maybe the ankle. With a woman, typically, and mind you, this is not just in the urban culture, where you may have to be forced to wear socks. अभी गर्मी में सॉक्स पहनना तो मुनासिब नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी पहनना पड़ता है. And the shoes, the closed shoes that you wear, and you're going to be wearing that in the office or in college, it is going to be difficult because it's again covering and the skin is going to be tight. तो उसको खुला नहीं रख सकते. But you are so embarrassed. Cut to, we go to a rural area, जहाँ पे पाजे पहनते हैं. You want to wear that, और अलता लगाना होता है, बिछुए पहनने होते हैं. And it's like, so again, for that woman too. So when we're talking about the psychological impact or the stress that a person carries with this, it's not just restricted to the psychology aware individuals in the urban settings, but also in the rural areas where it becomes so embarrassing for the pata nahi kaise pajeb acha nahi lagta hai. There are times when you go into villages in UP and they will not be wearing it, though it's a tradition. Because they say इतना गंदा लगता है, वो अपने आप को मोरनी बोलते हैं, बोलते मोर की तरह तो है ये, देखो इतना खुजा खुजा के रखा है, what am I going to do? To the extent that the सासुमा also says दिवाली में कौन सा तूने पहनना है, तेरे पैर तो मोरनी की जैसे, which is not beautiful that you're a good dancer. It is because your feet are ugly. That ugly patch that you have because of eczema on your foot is so disgusting. Now this, when you hear, Sabrine, it's definitely going to have an impact on you and you do not know what to do. And कभी कभी तो ऐसे लगता है कि आप पाँव काट दो या हाथ काट लो. Like I said, if you had the choice, you would be wearing socks. पर ऐसे कर नहीं सकते, because like I said, ग्रामीण विभाग में बहुत मुश्किल है अगर आप खेतों में काम कर रहे हो या आपको बाहर जाना है. ठंडी का मौसम हो तो अलग बात है, पर गर्मियों में तो और दिक्कत हो जाती है. So it does, yes, it's itchy and it is so irritating on a physical level, but on it also carries a lot of bearing on your psyche. You know, तो ये बहुत important है for us to understand the importance of how these things create an impact in your psychological perspective of living. Irritability आ जाती है. Now, before you go to the second question, I will answer the allied answer. इसके साथ ही जुड़ा हुआ है. तो क्या करते हैं, इतनी irritability आ जाती है, shyness आती है, apprehension आता है, आपको गुस्सा आता है, and you are just trying to be on guard always. ये सारी चीजें आपको एक शेल में डाल देती है. So you tend to be yourself, get into that state of mind where you are being very cautious. You're always on the guard, and you know, being on the guard also has an impact on you. It's like you're always conscious. Imagine अगर एक लड़की है, imagine she is having eczema and she is उसको लड़के देखने को आ रहे हैं and she is carrying a tray. Typical arranged marriage, typical scenario if I'm giving you. And mind you, I will give you instances from all the episodes that has taken place in the past, and I'm giving you real life incidents. तो क्या होता है, one, you're being so cautious. आपको पैर दिखाने नहीं है, आपने पाजे पहना है, but you're making very sure that your sari is covering the entire thing, and your steps are also so calculative ताकि वो दिखे नहीं. So you are already tense because you want to put your best picture forward. It's a new life, and then all this. Imagine one after the other. It's a dominoes effect. जो stress level का होता है. It's going to be new. अगर शादी के लिए match हो गया, then it's a different thing. That adds to another thing. नहीं हुआ तो again all your negativities, and because of this, because of that होता है. So the girl is out there trying to interact, trying to talk. And the back of your mind, you're also conscious of not trying to display. It's not something that you're proud of, to display something that is not very beautiful or very uncouth or looks very ugly. तो ये stress level उसकी वजह से होता है. तो because your back burner में ये tension है, आप बोलने के लिए हिचकिचा रहे हो, you're not being open, you're being, you're thinking twice about what am I going to say any which way, and it adds to that. So yes, there is a level of whatever impact that it has, and second, how we react to the stress that it carries also has a lot of impact on your personality. पता चला कि ये लड़की के बारे में गलत ही सोचते हैं. Maybe she's not as shy. Maybe she's not shy. She's not scared. She's not apprehensive. And she's not nervous. Yes, she is. But not to the extent that she's perceived to be. So these are all the areas that are affected. And this is portrayed also in a way where people do not understand. Now, this is the scene one. I will go to the second subsection of this issue. That which is सारी जगह पे तो नहीं होते, and it needs, like I said, every itch needs a scratch. अब देखिएगा what happens when you have और वो खुजाता है. You know, it is, unfortunately, it's a very itchy thing. Anything irritable with a little bit of moisture in the air or humidity, and with the sweat, the tendency to itch happens. And invariably, you will want to scratch. And you're in a presentation, you're in a class, you're talking to somebody, it is canteen time, you're not going to scratch like this. So when you're withheld from doing something, there is a stimulus, itch, and you have to respond because the response is called for by the stimulus, and you cannot respond. So that is something that is adding to not just the physical feature of that particular problem, the skin disease, but also to not doing something that the condition demands. It is not just here. What about on the thighs, on the back of your back के पीछे होता है, पेट के ऊपर कभी होता है. There are, in different places, there are different kind of skin problems जो बहुत लोगों को होता है. तो आप क्या करेंगे? So the restlessness that it causes, that also leads to a lot of issues. मतलब you're so restless कि मेरे को अभी खुजाना है. मान लो अभी मैं बैठी हूँ, I'm sitting, I have to make sure that I don't itch. So I have to divert myself. I have to make sure that my mind is focused on something else. I have to be present and try to distract myself from something which is a physical stimuli. So the overall mental health is affected because you're mentally trying to put pressure on something which demands, every action का वो reaction होता है. When there's something touches and ये होता है, तो फिर खुजाने की, even normally ऐसा कुछ लग गया तो फिर हम लोग ऐसा करते हैं. So imagine, and this immediately tells the neuron, वहां पे जाके बोलता है कि अच्छा फिर इसको खुजाना है. So the brain, one part of your brain is also telling, which is of course SOR, ना, stimulus organism response, which tells you कि यहाँ पे खुजाना है. So obviously आपका दूसरा हाथ जाता है. But cut to आप ही का mental framework, आप ही का cognitive process क्या बोलता है? That यहाँ पे ये जगह पे आपको खुजाना नहीं है. You understand? So there are two instructions that comes from the same processor. And then how do you react to it? So that's the duality in responding to a cognitive response becomes difficult. तो ये सारी चीजें, मतलब there is so much more to it. लोग बड़े आसानी से इसको ऐसे, अरे क्या है, खुजली है, no, but there is so much more to it. अगर इसको आप if you are going to peel off, it's like an onion. हर चीज का कितना मायने रखता है. So yes, I guess I tried to cover part 1, part 2, part 3 of your question, if there was anything at all. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for this answer. And I think, yes, you have covered more than what actually was asked, because you gave us some real-time examples as well, how stigmatized this problem is and how people are not aware. And the people who are suffering from atopic dermatitis, they also don't come forward and, tell others, okay, this is something, this is a problem that I have and I need to go fix this, or I need help. So this is something that people with atopic dermatitis don't come up with, right? Because there's always that stigma attached to it. Okay, this is transmissible, this is contagious. And if you try to tell people, like try to tell others, they won't agree, because they always want to be on a safer side. Right. So along with all the physical scars that people with atopic dermatitis have, right, they're dealing with that battle, the constant, urge to itch and scratch, right? And people start calling you names. So there's altogether another battle, which is, the emotional battle and the psychological battle that they have to deal with on an everyday basis. And for example, if I have this issue, I can come forward and tell maybe one person or two people, okay, I have this problem, I need help, I need to fix this. But every time anybody sees you up front, like you said, they only see the outer thing first, right? So the skin is being seen. So people see the skin, before they see you, right? So how to deal with all that emotional stress and the psychological battle that you face on an everyday basis, not being able to tell people, not being able to convey what you feel, and just as you said, being shied away.
So we're talking about all the areas that needs to be looked at effectively for a positive outlook. Because all these things are definitely going to hamper. It is going to affect the life of the person concerned. It's that is where we talk about, like I keep mentioning, about the importance of acceptance and self-realization. Whatever issue that I have, be it physical or emotional, if I understand and internalize the fact that this is what has happened to me and this is how I'm reacting to it. See, I may be able to take care of it with the professional help, and then I am seeking a doctor's advice. I'm applying cream. I need to apply moisturizer continuously so that it's all taken care of. Caladryl is there. Calamine is a very important uh, lotion that also takes care of the itching. There are so many uh, medical treatment per se that I have to be very careful of, and I have to be consistently taking care of it. So that is the medical aspect of this particular thing that I need to take care of. But the other important thing is, with medical treatment that is going on, what am I going to do to the reaction? The reaction not just to myself. अभी मुझे अगर खुजली होती है तो मुझे गुस्सा आता है कि यार मुझे खुजली क्यों होती है. That has to be taken out. So that realization of this will carry all the whatever that was discussed before. It's going to carry all these psychological bearings that you have to keep in mind, and the way you react to it is what really matters. And the way you react to this will help you in your reaction to how the society is looking at you. So being mindful, that is very essential. You have to stay positive, stay calm, take deep breaths, that is essential. And khujli hoti hai, at that particular moment, don't react immediately. वो reaction time हमको थोड़ा छोड़ के करना पड़ेगा. And then make sure that whenever there are powder and there are other things which you need to tell people. And if you are surrounded by friends, if you are going to be at your workplace, I think it's okay to discuss about something that you have, so that the others are also sensitized enough. You're not just helping yourself, but you're helping the others also by sensitizing them with what is going on with you. तो अगर पाउडर लगाया हो, अगर कैलामाइन लगाना हो, you have to apply it every half an hour or 1 hour. Make it a point to tell people around you that this is happening with me and it's fine. Anyways, you're embarrassed. Anyways, you're going to feel shy. Anyways, you're going to be, feeling miserable about what's happened with you. Might as well tell people, and then you'll feel that you are a little less miserable now because people know about it. That's important. So एक्सेप्टेंस मेरे पास अगर पहले ही हो गया है तो मैं उसको इंटरनलाइज करूंगी, एंड आफ्टर दैट इट विल बी इजियर फॉर मी देन टू टेल पीपल कि बॉस दिस इज व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. And if I'm not sharing lunch with anybody, for example, and I'm using a spoon and not my hand, then I'm going to tell people I'm just going to be a little too careful because I'm taking medicine and this is what it is, and it's fine. And if people are going to be aversive of what you say and what you do, then you'll have to tell them, then it's going to take me 2 weeks for this thing to get well, and until then I think I'm not going to join you, and be very pragmatic about it. See, once that is internalized, na Sabrine, it becomes easier for you to face, because you're mentally then strong. You're mentally in a position to take on any reaction, anything that comes your way or is thrown at you. So that is important. Like I said, being calm then is also essential, because then it will also soothe. The more you get hyper, the more sweat is going to be produced, and the more body is going to be heated up, and the more irritability, the more the itching, the more the itching, the more irritability. So it's a catch-22 situation where you need to be aware, you have to be mindful, you have to be calm. Take few deep breaths. That is essential. Wash yourself as often as possible. And again, informing people around that you need to take those breaks because you need to wash, applying moisturizer, calamine. These are very important things. And positively looking at good gracious, I got it here. So we also look at the element and concept of not just positive perception, but also the element of gratitude. अब आप बोलोगे कि gratitude and mindfulness, यहाँ mindfulness तो आ गया. What is gratitude got to do with it? When you practice something as important as the concept of gratitude, especially in ailments, Sabrine, it goes a long way. अच्छा हुआ इधर आया, और कहीं होता तो दिक्कत होती. When we say this, this is also a defense mechanism, yes, but it is a very effective mechanism. It's a very positive defense mechanism. When you're saying कि okay fine, at least यहाँ तक रह गया, कहते हैं ना दिल बहलाने के लिए गालिब ये ख्याल अच्छा है. It is good because you're trying to positively condition yourself, saying that worse could have happened, but I'm happy that it has happened only in this patch. So that element, I'm so thankful. Like we keep saying that being mindful is important, being positive about it, and feeling thankful कि यार अच्छा हुआ इतने में matter सुलझ गया, and it's not all over the body. Even if it is all over, at least I have people to take care of me. At least I'm there. I have the resources and the funds and the knowledge to take care of me. So that element has to be inculcated into the system. Once you do this, obviously, you're trying to build in resilience. Building up of resilience is a very important factor, Sabrine. When you have not just this ailment, I'm talking about any kind of physical ailment, building up resilience towards no matter what happens, I will go on. Like we say, the show must go on. That attitude is very, very essential. तभी ही हम लोगों को positively अपने आप को move करने के लिए, so that becomes a self-motivating element in our life, no matter what, whether it is a scratch, an itch, or a gangrene, or a disability, or any issue. ये चीज आपको आगे लेके जाने में बहुत मदद करती है. Obviously, having a positive outlook in life will go a long way in self cure. इसको हम लोग biofeedback बोलते हैं. ये बहुत जरूरी होता है. That is very, very essential. So when you try and tell yourself that it's okay to feel low, it's okay to have an issue, it's okay to have the skill ailment, it's okay to not look good. I mean, well, it's not okay, but it's fine. Yaar, abhi ho gaya hai. What am I going to do? There are two ways to look at it. Either I'm going to crib and cry. I'm going to be a crybaby and feel miserable and create more agony for myself. Or I'm going to say, okay, fine, this has happened. What next? What will I do to try and better myself, to better my thought processes? To tell it's okay, fine, ye ho gaya hai, chalo hum log aage badhte hain. Have that positivity in outlook about yourself. चलो अच्छा हो गया, इधर है, यहाँ तो नहीं है, कहीं और तो नहीं है, गर्दन पे तो नहीं है, माथे पे तो नहीं है. तो ये सारी चीजें जब हम लोग अपने आप के लिए कॉन्फ़िगर करते हैं, when you re-engineer, then your outlook is changed. And when the outlook is changed, really it will help you in trying to bring about that smoothness. not just in perception, but also in your in the physical structure of the skin, तभी अच्छा लगेगा. वरना if you know pimples ज्यादा किसी को हो जाएंगे तो और सोचेंगे तो और होने की संभावना है, because hormonal imbalance होता है, and then tension की वजह से again there is secretion, and again there is the level of आपका body temperature बढ़ जाता है, उसकी वजह से sweat ज्यादा create होता है, उसकी वजह से again itching हो जाता है. तो like I said, ये dominoes effect है, इसको कट करना बहुत जरूरी है. We'll have to cut the chain so that you don't get into a catch-22 situation. And Sabreen, breathing exercise, you'll be surprised to know that yes, washing is essential, but deep breathing has proven to be very effective for skin ailments. तो आप breathing exercise भी करिएगा. अच्छी नींद बहुत जरूरी है. तो अपने आप को स्वेट नहीं करना है, अनलाइक अदर, क्योंकि स्वेट करेंगे तो वापस स्किन पे आपको इचिंग आने की संभावना है. तो ब्रीदिंग की वजह से आपको कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी. इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू इंक्रीज योर बॉडी टेम्परेचर, इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू लीड टू एनी काइंड ऑफ sweaty body. So that deep breathing is very essential. Listening to music is very beautiful. Art therapy is another thing that is very effective in these kind of ailments. So we have almost covered with everything in a very comprehensive manner, and I guess it's important for all of us to believe that no matter what we face with or we have, it's essential for us to understand what we are going to do further to try and better ourselves. Treatment, medical treatment is important, but how I'm going to biofeedback myself for a better me is what we need to look at. So that positivity is important. That outlook is very important. That integrated holistic perception is very essential. I guess we have covered it, Sabreen, and I hope this finishes with the topic at hand, and really glad that we could do this. And this is not, I will just add one more thing, Sabreen. This is not just for eczema or any other issues. I will also tell you that you know, individuals, albinos, you know, उनके साथ तो बहुत ही बड़ी समस्या होती है, because पिगमेंटेशन की वजह से, लैक ऑफ पिगमेंटेशन की वजह से वो लोग इतने, उनका स्किन सेंसिटिव होता है और दिखते भी उनको भूरे भूरे करके बुलाते रहते हैं. There are people, I've had friends in my childhood, both siblings were albinos, and that led to a lot of issues with them psychologically. And so we need to be aware. The society has to be made sensitive, and it's up to people like us to try and create awareness, and also the person concerned to be aware and be strong enough to sensitize everyone around and have that positive outlook. Thank you, Sabreen. Thank you for having me on board regarding this topic, and I hope we have covered everything in this short period.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, definitely. We have covered a lot of it because you gave, you know, a holistic view to the disease. Also, a very beautiful outlook with, you know, how to deal with anything that life throws at us. Because this is life, and somehow we have to learn to deal with it, right? So your positive words, and you know, it shows the way you do your work, and the Rai Foundation has been involved in all such activities that you personally cater to, and this Health Fest being one of them. I'm sure this topic of atopic dermatitis and all the others that we are doing are definitely going to help the viewers out. So thank you so much, ma'am, for organizing all of this and being on board with us for today. We are really grateful.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
God bless.